There's an old Jewish joke that two men go to a rabbi to decide a dispute for them. And the first man presents his position, and the rabbi listens to him, scratches his beard, and says, "You know, you're right." The other man says, "Wait a second, Rabbi, you haven't heard my point of view." "Go ahead, my son," says the rabbi. And the second man explains his point of view. Rabbi scratches his beard and says, "You know, you're right." There's a long pause, and the rabbi's assistant pulls on the rabbi's sleeve and says, Rabbi, they can't both be right." And the rabbi says to his assistant, "You know what? You're right too." There are some disputes, especially in family law, I think, where both sides are right and nobody's wrong. And one of those is in the field of grandparent visitation. Grandparents want to have a relationship with their children, and generally it's good that children have a relationship with their grandparents. It's good for the children emotionally, sometimes financially. Grandparents can contribute to children's college education funds. There's a saying that no child has ever been hurt by having too many people to love that child. Yet, children don't always get along with their parents, and sometimes injecting grandparents into the equation can lead to fighting, litigation, and tension, and fighting, litigation, and tension is never good for children. So it's one of those instances where both sides are right. The grandparents, when they want involvement, are right to want to be able to see their grandchildren, and the parents are right when they don't want to be ordered by the court to do what they don't want to do in terms of raising their own children, as long as the children aren't harmed. Earlier this month, the Wisconsin Supreme Court heard oral arguments in the Meister case. It's the only family law case currently in front of our Supreme Court. It's a grandparent visitation case. I've listened, or actually watched, the oral arguments. They're taped today. And I thought the two lawyers did a pretty good job in presenting the issues. The basic issue comes down under the terms of a U.S. Supreme Court case, rare in our field that the U.S. Supreme Court dictates what happens. But the case, of course, is Troxel versus Granville, that says that fit parents have a right to raise their children without interference by courts or anyone else. And I suspect that Troxel is going to control the outcome of this case. But I've provided a link in my it flew this month to the oral arguments, and I invite you to watch it or listen to it. As I said, the lawyers did a good job. It presents both sides of a difficult issue, and of an issue which, unfortunately, both sides are right. Neither side is wrong, but there needs to be a decision made one way or the other. Watch or listen to it and see what you think.